Start the recording. Okay, I have started. Okay. So the complex conditions. What are we going to talk about? Complex conditions here. Complex conditions with Boolean values and logical operators. Then we will see some tables, decision tables, find or replace to specify conditions that their results use the correct syntax for logical operators in JavaScript. Explain how it can be made more efficient with short circuit evaluation. Specify the order for performing multiple condition evaluations. Determine whether complex conditions or nested conditions are most suitable. So, what is the meaning of complex condition? Why do we have to use complex condition? So, when you have, like we had a situation where you have to use this or that, we were using the fixed instructions, right? So let's say you have to sing the road. If the light is green, you cross, right? You go. You're good to go. If the signal is red, you don't go, you step. So if green, go. If red, don't go, right? But here, the complex condition, what we are going to see is you are going to have one or more conditions. Okay, so you don't know, like you have to have these two conditions met. Let's say, for an example, you in order to come to Canada, you have to have the visa and you have to have the IELTS, right? So those conditions, those both conditions need to be met in order to come to Canada. So that's an easy example, right? So that way you understand better. You want to come to Canada, you have to have those conditions met. You have to have the visa, you have to have the IELTS. So those are and. You cannot have one or the other. So that is an and operator. That's what we are seeing here. It can be more. Okay, depends on the situation, right? So when this occurs, you have to describe the relationship between the conditions. Okay. So example, a student makes the dean's list. You're coming here, you get good grades. Okay. In order to make it to the dean's list, you have to have the average of credit hours of 12 and having a grade point average of 3.5. So in order to make it to a grade dean's list, you have to have credit hours 12 above and see this and one. Okay, that is the logical operator that we are going to talk about. Another one is a movie theater offers a discount to anyone who is under the age of 6 or 65. Hmm, no voice? Oh, is it better now? Can you guys hear me now? Good. Very good. Okay. So the complex condition where you have more than one condition. Often it's two or more conditions are involved. You have to use the complex condition. Okay. So we will see those examples. We are going to use AND operator, or operator, and not operator. So we are going to see those examples. Okay. We do this in pseudocode. We are going to declare them. One way to describe complex condition is using the Boolean variable. It is a good quiz question named after George Boole. So who, okay, invented this, developed this logical Boolean expression variables? It is George Boole who is the one invented that. It can be used to store only true or false. So the Boolean expressions, Boolean variables, they can only have either true or false, or yes or no, okay? Or even technical terms, you're going to say on or off, right? So we declare a Boolean variable the same as other variable in pseudocode. So when we declare the Boolean variables, How do we do? How do we declare our variable? We say the keyword declare and type of the variable. Here the type of the variable is Boolean and payment is overdue. That is the variable name that we have, right? Again, for senior citizen, that's again keyword is declare. Type of the variable is Boolean and is senior citizen, that's the variable name. When setting the variable to true or false, set the value using the word true and false. Note that the format is the same as any other keyword in pseudocode. Okay, so you just have to say is overdue equals to set up the value to true, or you can set it up to false. Advantage of Boolean data type is that when testing a variable's value or true value is assumed, okay, you assume the value is true. Okay, so the following statements are considered equivalent. If you see, if payment overdue, that gives you the same value as payment overdue equals true. Okay, so they both have the same value. So what happens? This makes your code easier to read as it is more like normal language. So what are we trying to do here? The payment overdue, then if the payment overdue, then that's a pseudocode, right? Late fee. There is a late fee of $4 applied. Then end if you finish here, if part. No, you don't need the relational operator when testing for a true condition. However, when testing for false condition, it must be present. So, what is the meaning of relational operators, guys? And what are the relational operators? Do you guys know? Do you have internet problem or I have internet problem, Jashan? Yes, hi. Hello, Komal, what's the problem? Yes. So if you see here, yeah, sure. So when we are declaring variables, the advantage of Boolean data type is that when testing a variable's value, don't worry, okay, we will do some examples, then you will understand better, okay? So we'll just like theory part, so don't worry if you don't get it. The more examples that we do, you will understand better, so don't worry about that. Okay? Advantage of Boolean variable is that you assume the value is true and you assign it. Okay, so this is an example of the statements that are considered equivalent. Yes, yes, we are going to do some examples, guys. Okay, if payment overdue or if payment overdue equals true. Okay, so this is how you are going to do the pseudocode part for that. Okay, so when you have true condition, you don't have to do the relational operator. But when you are doing the false condition, you have to use the relational operator. So what are the relational operators we have? Let's see what are the relational operators we have. Can you guys see my screen? What are the relational operators we have? Greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, equal, not equal to, right? These are the relational operators we have, right? Do you guys remember this study? Yes, okay. So when you are checking a condition, when we are checking a condition, we are going to use them. When you are checking a condition, we are going to use this. Okay. But what happens is, so the relational operators, okay, what are the relational operators available? So greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, or equal, not equal to. These are the relational operators we have, right? So when we check for a true condition, we don't have to use this. But when you are checking for a false condition, we have to use any of this, depend on the situation, right? Let me refresh one more time, guys. Let me know if it's good now. Is it okay now? Okay, good. Okay, I think so. Yeah. So the relational, so I'm not going to refresh again. If more than like 10 students tells me that they have breaking voice, I'm not going to refresh it because I don't want to interrupt. Okay. And in case if you are not getting it, please stay back after class, then I can help you. Okay. Because I want to go, like, I don't want to disturb during the class time, maybe one or two students. Okay. All right. So logical operators. So what are the logical, what's the difference between logical operator and um, the relational operator? So the logical operator, okay, when evaluating two or more condition, we use different logical operators than the six relational operators we have previously used. Okay. So the complex condition occurs when two or more conditions have to be evaluated for an action to take place, right? So if you want an action to take place, you have to evaluate more than two conditions. Okay. Example, an employee is eligible for a discount and so item after working 2 months and having a perfect attendance record. Okay. So we are going to see now what are the logical operators and how to use them. Okay. So these are our relational operators. Our logical operators are, huh? So these are our logical operators. How to find a do know and operator and where to find, right? So it's not only single and, it has to be two ands. Okay. And operator, you know where to find it. It's on top of the number 7 key, right? This O operator, those are two strike keys. You might be wondering where to find it. It is on top of your enter key. You need to press the shift. Do that right now with me. So press the shift key and above enter, you see the backsplash, right? So you need to enter that key with the shift key. You get this two strike key. So you have to press 2 times to get this key. Not operator is again on top of number 1 key. So you need to use that with shift key. Okay. Is that clear? All of you know how to get these keys? Anyone who is struggling, don't know how to get that? So all of you know, because you know what, I know it might be a silly question to ask, but I had few students, they didn't know where to find these keys. So I always make sure that you guys know that. Okay. Okay, so now you know how to use those keys, right? So let's see now. Okay, complex conditions are joined with the keywords and or keyword or and then not one. These are the three known as the logical operators, right? Let's see an example for that. In order to enter the movie, you need to have enough money for a ticket. But in order to also claim the student discount, you may be required to show a student ID. Okay. So we have the pseudocode here. We are declaring our variable, right? Yeah. Can you guys refresh your browsers, Jasharpreet and Komal? Hmm. So we are, give me, like, let's, okay. You know what, guys? Try to bear with me, and we'll do the example together. So open your Notepad plus plus and we will do it together. So, and if you're not getting it, just stay back after class and then I'll help you. Okay. All right. So in order to enter the movie, you need to have, so I want all of you to open your Notepad plus plus, guys. That way we can do it together. And when you make mistake, if someone says that your program is not working, we are going to troubleshoot that. That way you understand and you makes you, like, gives you more knowledge about troubleshooting. So you're going to find the mistake and even you can troubleshoot other people's issues. Okay. So I want all of you to open your Notepad plus plus, guys. Okay. So in order to enter the movie, you have to have enough money. Yes, you have to have money in order to go and watch the movie, right? And also claim the student discount. So since you're a student here, you get discount for everything, most of the things at least, right? But you have to show your student ID. Okay? Let's say for an example, if you're going to get a bus pass, you pay, like, other people pay $8. In that case, students maybe they pay $6 or something, right? So, but you have to show your student ID. Okay. How we are going to do that? Okay. So let me open my Notepad plus plus. Did you guys open your Notepad plus plus? Good. So my question is going to be, we need to have our HTML part, right? So we are going to declare a variable. When we declare a variable, we use var, right? Then this is another one, show ID. Okay. So we are going to ask the user, okay, person has money equals prompt. Okay. The next one is show ID. Okay. So now we are going to check the condition. How are we going to check the condition? If, okay, person has money, okay, equals, yes, and, okay, show ID equals, yes, okay. Or we can even make it true, but I'm going to show you something else here. Okay, so if person has money equals true, yes, and show ID equals, yes. Okay. So let's say here, I'm going to have, for you to understand, we are going to have bar ticket price equals, let's say, no, regular price, let's say regular price equals, let's say, $15. Do not put any dollar sign in front of it. You want to display that, you can do that under double quotation mark when you are printing your output, but you don't want to do that now, right? Discount price equals, let's say $10. Okay. So now I'm going to say ticket price equals, since that condition is true, okay. So what happens here? We are saying discount price equals 10, right? So the ticket price, we need to have the variable declared as well, right? So bar ticket price, okay? Now I'm going to display my message as well. Okay. So now we run this program. Okay, we are going to run our program. Do you have enough money for yes and yes? So your ticket price after discount is $10. Right? So if I am saying no, okay, and then yes, sorry, you're not qualified for discount. Your cost is $15. Okay, let me show you my screen now. Okay, so now I'm going to run my program in the browser, Chrome browser, using Chrome. So when I run my program, okay, when I say yes and yes, it says your ticket price after discount is $10, right? If I say no for one, yes for the other one, okay, I get ticket price is normal regular price, right? So remember, you guys did last class, you would have learned about in here, okay, see here, I am entering, okay, I am entering capital Y, right? Again, capital Y, right? So what happens when I enter capital Y? It gives me the value. What happens if I enter lowercase y? It's evaluating to false, right? So what we have to do, remember we studied last week, you guys studied about two lowercase, two uppercase. Yes, very good. Yeah. So let's use that now because whatever you learned, you're going to apply it here. Let's apply it here. So I am going to do here, okay, my program. I'm going to say prompt, right? Person has money, right? Equals, okay, person has money to upper case, right? So in that case, whatever the user enters, it's going to be so show ID equals, okay, so ID dot to uppercase, right? Okay. Now let's say I'm going to run this. All right. So I'm entering lowercase y, lowercase, but still I get the capital value. So remember, we talked about something substring, right? So let's say the user is entering more. The user is entering yes. So here, if you see here, when I run my program, okay, let's see, I'm running my program. Okay. So when I run, I am saying yes, capital, lowercase, it changes to capital. Okay, that's good. But what happens if I enter yes like that, and then again yes, but it is evaluating to false? So what can we do? We need to use the substring it to change, right? So how can we do that? You can either do them different lines, or you can do them in the same line. So I prefer to do it in the same line. So I'm going to say substring, okay, 0, comma 1 dot. Okay, when you do that, that is going to give me the one value only, right? So substring, okay. So now save and run my program. Okay, I'm going to say yes and yes. Okay, so do you guys see? So I'm running my program now, and let me show you my screen. Okay, yes. So I'm running my program now. So when I run, I am entering here lowercase y, but okay, and I'm saying yes here. Then again, I'm saying like this, but I still get your ticket price after discount is $10. What happens if I say no and then yes? Same, right? But let's say some of you are fan of using lowercase letters than the uppercase letters. So what do you need to do? You have to go here. Okay, so instead of using the two uppercase, what would you do? Yes, I'll show it, guys. Okay, so here, what I'm going to do, can you guys see my screen? Okay. Okay. So I am going to okay. Now I want to change this one to lowercase, right? So what do I have to do? If I'm going to change it to lowercase, I'm going to change this one. Yes. And here also I'm going to change it to lowercase. And here also you have to change. Here if you have it uppercase, what is going to happen? Nothing happens. It's going to give you an error message and it's not going to evaluate a true condition. It's going to evaluate a false condition, right? So now you run your program. Okay. I am going to type. I'm typing everything in capital letter, right? Again, yes. But I get a message, it evaluates to true because it changed everything. It took only one letter and changed everything to lowercase. Is that clear? Any questions before I go to the next one? Okay. So the next example is, so did anyone have any issues, guys? Any error messages need to troubleshoot? Anybody have any issues? Need troubleshooting? Okay. So the next example that we are going to do, in the previous example, both conditions had to be evaluated to true. So for this one here, in order to have that and, when you use the and, I think you would have learned in your math class too. True and true gives you true, right? But this example here, yes, question? Okay. So in this example here, it can either be true and true, true or true, true or false, true and false and true, it gives you the true value, right? So that's the O operator here. Okay. So let's see how we can do this one. Okay. Again, I want you guys to do the you guys want me to post this one, these examples? Okay. Okay. So this example here, okay, let me show you. Okay. Here we used AND operator and we were using the two AND signs, right? Also, we were taking two values from the user. For this example, we are only going to get one value and we are going to ask the user to enter his age. So var age equals, okay, prompt. If, okay, O else, so what happens here? Either if this condition evaluates to true, okay, so if this condition evaluates to true, it will evaluate to admission price will be 0 for this condition. So we have to declare the variable Okay. Then okay, age. Okay. So okay. We are going to say this and run this program now. Save and run. I have an error. Let me see. So So line 16, I have an error. So let's go back to line 16. Okay. Oh, you found it already before I check. Good. Who is that? Dave. Thanks, Dave. What did I do? 16. Hmm. Good eyes. Thank you. Okay. Enter your age. I'm going to say 5. Congratulations. You got free admission, right? If I enter 5, 6, what happens? Sorry, you're not qualified because it is checking everything under below 6, right? Below age 6, right? So this is the O operator. So let's see, we are going to check for. I'm glad that way. I'm happy. That's what we want, right? So you're very good. So now, do I have to get scared of you guys then? Okay. So I'm going to now run this again to see what happens for the, if I enter 67, gives me free admission, right? But if I enter anything, even if I enter 65, it's going to give me, sorry, you're not qualified, right? Any questions before I go to the next one? Is that clear, guys? Can I go to the next one? Okay, good. So now we are going to see the not operator. So we have seen AND operator, O operator. Now we are going to see not operator. The not operator, the logical operator, but usually when we were using the AND and O operator, they were based on two conditions, right? So the logical operators AND and O are called binary logical operators. So this is going to be another quiz question, guys. Pay attention for that. Binary logical operators. So what does that mean? They had to be evaluated between combination of conditions. Okay, combine two conditions. So that's why they are called binary logical operators. But the not operator, which is placed before one condition. So that's called the unary logical operator because it operates on a single combined condition. Okay, let's say if this is balanced, that's going to make it to if this condition is going to be negative. Okay. So let's see how we can do this example. Okay. Uh, okay, so for the O operator, I'll give you 2 minutes for you guys to watch that. Okay, so have a look. Give you 2 minutes. Good. Okay. So now we are going to do the next example, which is going to be for not operator, right? Okay. So we are going to ask the user to enter the balance. Okay. Ask since the balance is going to have digital decimal values. So okay. So since it's a balance, bank balance, what is it going to be? What type is it going to be? It's going to be a fast float, right? Float, prompt. Okay. So balance equals fast float, prompt asking the user to enter the balance. Okay. We are going to check that condition, right? If, okay, not negating, right? We're checking the condition for, okay, then our message is going to be so this will be a little bit contradicting when you think about it, but actually what happens, let's say let's do the example. We'll run the program and we'll try to understand what happens here. Okay. So if I enter 50, okay, the accounts will not continue to earn interest. Okay? So if you see here, I entered 50 here. Okay. So the reason for pass float is pass int pass float. Okay. We use pass float because when you have decimal values, right? The values you don't have decimal values, you use the pass int integer value, right? Yes. So bank balance can, because you don't want to lose even your cents, right? Even 50 cents, you don't want to lose it. If you say integer, what happens? It will change it to round it up, right? It will round it up to integer value. What is integer value? You all 500, 501. So you won't have any decimals. But are you ready to lose here even 45 cents? Back? No, right? That's why we use the pass float value. Okay. So I'm going to run my program now. Okay. So when I run, okay, let's say I'll show you the example, what I'm entering. Okay, so can you guys see what I'm entering? So I'm entering 50 here. Okay, the message that I'm getting, your account will not continue to earn interest. So we go back to our code now and see. Okay. Okay. So what happened? I entered 50, right? So here, okay, I'm going to put it in comment, that way you know. So I entered 50. Okay, so what happens if, okay, not sign, okay, I entered 50 less than 200. Okay, so in reality, 50 less than 200, that is true. So what we should have got your account will continue to earn interest, right? That's what we should have got it. But what did this do? This made, so if, okay, made this one, actually this condition was true, right? So made this true condition to false, if false. So made this condition to false, okay, and evaluated this value for us, okay. So even though this condition is true, right, that is true, this not operator change it, okay, made the true to false. So since this condition, so this condition becomes false now here, right? False, right? So since this condition became false here, instead of evaluating this condition, it evaluated this one, okay? So let's see now, I am going to enter 300, okay? Okay, so now I'm going to enter here, okay? Here, I am entering 300. Okay. When I enter 300, it says your account will continue to earn interest. Let's go back to our code now. Okay. Code. Okay. So what happened now? I was entering. Okay. So now I'm going to take this one, and this becomes 300 now. In reality, 300 less than 200? No, that's actually a false, right? False statement. So that is false, but it is making false, okay, true. So this becomes true now. Okay, so in that case, it is evaluating this condition for us. I know it's a bit confusing. I don't think you have to use, like, this is something that you have to avoid. Like, if there's an opportunity that you can avoid it, you will be avoiding it. So don't worry too much about it. But this is what happens. That's why I showed the example. If you want, you can try it. You want to do it on your own, I'll give you 2 minutes to try and let me know if you got it. Okay. So I'll give you 2 minutes to have a look. Everyone okay, guys? Oh, you guys have break usually? Okay, guys, go ahead. So is it 10 minutes or I didn't know that. Usually I don't give. Okay. So is it a 10 minutes break? How long the break is, guys? 15? Jashan prayed. Hmm. Thanks, Dave. Yes, 10 is good. Okay, I'll give you 10 minutes. I'll see you guys back in 10:12. It's 10:02. So I'll see you guys at 10:12. No, I said 10 minutes, guys. Just 10 minutes. Okay. So I'll see you guys at 10:13. Okay. All right. 10:13, guys.